Hello, folks, and welcome to another stream where myself, Luciano, together with this guy,
Roberto, hello. This guy.
Roberto.
Where am I today?
Yeah, I think we are inverted from our usual position. Anyway, so what we do today is trying new ways to learn Rust. And lately, in the last couple of streams, we have been playing with Rust and AWS Lambda together. So we have a project that we are working on. We'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. But the idea is that we want to try to see how to ship Rust code inside AWS Lambda. So deploying Lambdas that are effectively 100% written in Rust. And the project that we have been working on is an application for a restaurant. So the application already exists. We are just doing some automation to simplify the management of the data for that particular application. And this application uses Airtable as a database. If you never use Airtable, it's kind of like a spreadsheet, like a Google spreadsheet kind of thing. So totally web-based, but it gives you a little bit nicer APIs that allow you to query the data, read data, write data. So what we need to do is effectively read some data, do some calculation, and then write the data somewhere else in Airtable. And we did some progress about that in the last couple of streams. And today we're going to continue on that project. Hopefully we'll be able to have a first working implementation. Let me just remind you all our user channels. We live stream on Twitch. We are also on YouTube. So if you want to see the recording, you can check out on YouTube and get the previous episodes. So without further ado, I'm going to give it to Roberto to share his screen and see some actual code.
Okay, so we can jump into the code. We start from here. These are the Airtable tables that Luciano was talking about. Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you. Those are the table that is our source table. This is a table, instead the tags where we will write in this table. What we write here, we have a field called tags in this table. We just want to take all of them, make a set of all of them, then look at the one that are missing here and just write the one that are missing. So to keep this table in line with the other one automatically every 30 minutes, because our schedule is every 30 minutes. What we did for the platform side with Sam is to have our Lambda deployed, our event in Event Bridge that is triggering every 30 minutes. We pass the secret for Airtable through a configuration through an environment variable. So I will not show you any more the environment variables because there is my secret written in clear text there. But taking that from when the Lambda starts, we take that from the environment and we use it to connect it to Airtable. Now, the code itself, let's go fast through it. There are some useful struct to parse our tables from Airtable. Plus, there is a function that is the one that we did last time, the get table, that takes a generic T that implements the serialize owned. We used the serialize owned last time to avoid all the problems with lifetime of just having a deserialize generic. This is taking our table that is provided as a parameter. The key that is our secret is going through the call, taking the offset if there is any. So basically, if there is a second page, it takes the second page. If there is no second page, it breaks, and that's the loop. We tried this last time with two tables. One, the menu item table, identified by this string, and the tags table identified by this other string. The types themselves, if we want to look at them, are just a wrapper around the real type itself. And the real type itself, it has many fields, but we just care about tags for the tag, and we care for the menu items, and we care about tag and sort order for the tags item in the tags table. That again, it has its own wrapper. We have a bunch of to do around the code because we want to optimize when all of this is working. Our main function, our function handler, the one that Lambda will call with an event, is reading the environment variable with the secret, is reading the two tables, and now we have to do something with them. Just to remind you, we had a Python prototype of all of this. So basically now we are around this point of the Python prototype where we have to create the new tags only if they are not already existing. something that we need is the max sort order of the previous table that we can extract in Rust with in some ways. Let's look how we can do that.
Sorry, before we move on, we have a question from Tommaso saying, why not a generics for the wrapper? I think that's what we did. But maybe I'm not getting the question. I don't know if you get it any different.
Because they are exactly the same, this and this. This can be an Airtable wrapper taking a T, and the T is menu item fields or tag items fields.
Mm-hmm.
If I get it correctly. I mean, something like this. Items. And then it takes...
oh, yeah, fair enough. I see why, where this is going.
And then where is that we use it? We use it here. Here we can do items of... where is it? Tag item fields. Then we can obviously simplify the names, but I think he wants us to do something like I lost it, like this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this fine for our friend for now? Here I'm watching. Here there is a cargo lambda watch. That, if you remember previously, this is rebuilding the lambda every time that we... Okay, warning, but it got built. So yes, in theory, we should be able to do the same. If I take this turbo fish and I change this other turbo fish with the menu item. Yeah, vector of items of this.
Yeah, I think what Thomas is suggesting is slightly different. So abstract a little bit the double nesting. But then the problem is that we need to do some custom deserialization of Serdi, because unless there is some smart annotation that we are not aware about, because then the response we get from Airtable is kind of double nested, and therefore we need two structs to map that. So yeah, either we do some custom deserializer or we still need to do what we did so far, which is duplicating those two double nested structures.
But well, I will revert to this change for now. This is an optimization that we can do later when everything works.
But it's a very good point. So thank you, Tommaso, for that suggestion.
I still have a change. Where? Okay, it was just slow to pick up. So now let's go on with our stuff. We wanted to extract the maximum sort order that we have at the moment. Here in the Python code, we were keeping a max sort order, and we were looping through and getting it updated while we were reading all the pages of the tags. In reality, tags only has one page, but the behavior is the same. Here we are using a table to get the data, so here we will do something different. That will be something like tags.iter. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, let's add another to do. Let's add another to do there. Oh, we already have it in line 69 that we could do the two fetches in parallel. We thought about that. It's just we were too lazy. We just wanted to make it work, and then we'll definitely try to refactor that.
Yeah, at the moment we are in the make it work, make it correct, make it fast. So make it fast is the third step. And I hope that we do the make it work and make it correct in the same step. This is simple enough. But okay, so now we have this max sort order like we did with the Python prototype. And we were just looping through all the tags from the menus and doing basically not doing anything if you were already finding the tags. I think in Rust we can create two hash sets and do a difference between them. What do you think?
I think that's an option, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so let the menu tags equal to menu, if I can write, iter dot, we want to get an hash set with all, so this one will be an hash set
I have no idea
Why
what is ash brown. I think that's an external crate.
Yes, I think it's too. But an ash map of
Or
what? An ash map of strings.
Is it an ash map or an ash set?
Sorry, it's an ash set. My fault. I got distracted by the AI.
The ash brown, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to have this out. So we have to iter through the menu. We have to take out of the menu the only field that it has, that is tags, that is a optional vector. It can be missing, so we need to take it out only if it exists. So
there we could do another optimization later on, just mentioning it so we remember that we could tell Serdi, if it's not there, give me an empty vec. So we don't need to deal with the optionality anymore. It's just going to be either a vec with values or no values.
Okay. Now, tags can be missing. So here we have to do something about this to just get the one with tags that is not known. Is this a filter map in the end?
Oh yeah, you're saying that there might be rows where it's just an empty row, right? So we need to ignore.
Yeah, tags can be unknown in some rows, so we have to handle the. And
yeah,
it will be some in other ones.
Filter map will help with that. Also, Tommaso has another suggestion saying, is this going to be an hash set of string or reference to string? Probably the latter, but I guess it's going to become apparent when we try to do a collect.
Well, we already have the strings, that's true. So it can be a reference.
Yeah, otherwise you need to do clone explicitly somewhere else, which doesn't seem ideal.
No. A flat map was also suggesting, Tommaso, because we have vectors out of this. So we want to have only one flat structure with all of that. So flat map is taking an iterator and what is doing with it? So our tags is a option.
Can you just unwrap or default for now? Which is going to give you an empty vec anyway.
Unwrap or...
No, sorry, unwrap underscore or default.
Or default. So this should be imported. Standard, yes. Okay. And now he's complaining that
expected. Oh yeah, you need to call collect because.
Oh yes, sorry,
that's
forgot
still yeah. Now, can you call collect on an hash set, or do you need to go to a vec and then pass the vec into the hash set? I think we'll need to do all of that thing to go the long way. I don't think you. I'm not sure you can do an hash set directly with collect. Let me see.
He's complaining about the data type of the string on the left.
Okay, it does implement from iterator, which I think is the one you need for collect to work. So maybe it's just some typing thing. Okay,
Cannot return a reference to temporary value. Okay. Because the default is a temporary value.
Right.
Let's clone like crazy for now.
Oh, I see. Okay. Here.
Not clone. Now it's complaining about something else. Perfect. Cannot move. Tags, which is behind.
Why are you moving it? Because you call unwrap, you are moving it. So what if you call clone before unwrap or default?
Clone.
And then unwrap or default.
Then unwrap or default. Okay, now is he happy?
Now it is happy.
Okay. But we are cloning. We can make better. So probably we have to filter first and flat map later. Could be.
Which
but
is,
well,
I think, another suggestion we have here. Yeah.
Let's leave it to do. Now, we want to do the same for the tags from the tag. So the tags, just tags. Well,
sorry, at the moment you haven't done any filtering, right?
No, I take all of them.
Okay, perfect. Just for me to understand.
Now, instead, I want to take all the tags from the tags table that will contain the field called tag. That in our case is not an optional, no, is a string. So there is no need for a unwrap or default. There is no need for a flat map. And the need for clone is needed because we have a string on this side, or we don't have to clone, let's see.
I think with either that will give you a reference, does it?
The same as before, is behind a shared reference of some kind. So again, this can be done with a reference without a clone, but we will optimize later. And done. Now we have to do the difference between the two sets. Let's see. Let tag to create is equal to difference between menu tag set and tag set. So we remove from the menu tags the tags set. Seems correct.
Yes.
And what we have out of it, a difference. Can I have a vector?
I think because again, this is giving you some kind of iterator. It's probably gonna diff as you iterate. So you need to materialize it yourself.
Yeah. And this is a vector of string. It's fine with a vector of string. No, it's not fine. Why? Because it wants references to a string.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna automatically clone anything, which I guess is good.
No, it's just okay. Now, for all the tags that we have to do, at this point we have to do the post. Where are we doing the post? We have this structure that is record, fields, tag, and max order. So we need to create a structure to post this in the body, because this is a JSON body. Okay, so we have to create a structure to map this. The internal structure is fields, tag, and sort order. Let's see. Field, tag, and sort order. Tag with a G only. Okay, so it is inside fields. So the tag item type can be used, but we have to wrap it inside something that contains a records key, and then we have a vector of those.
Okay.
And I don't think, no, we have this, a vector of those, and it's called records. Yes. No, we already have the AirTable response that at this point is also the AirTable.
Can we call it AirTable payload? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we have to create our AirTable payload. Let payload equal to air. Let's create it directly here. And records will be a vector of all our items that are basically the tags to, now something funny. The tags to create needs to have an incremental max sort order. Then we have to make it mutable.
Okay, so you basically every new item you need to give it an incremental value. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and here also we are in the Python script. I was doing one tag at a time, even if it takes a vector. I was doing only one tag at a time because I had problems doing all the tags together. So here, if I have to create 10 tags, I do 10 posts. We can try to optimize this and see how it works. What do you think?
What is the semantic of Airtable? Is it that you just push a record to a table and it gets appended? Or do you need to explicitly recreate the entire table from scratch?
No, just the new records that you want.
Okay, and you cannot pass
Just
more than one record?
No, you can pass 10 records at a time. I want to try that. So it's not a 4 anymore because we are not looping through. We are doing everything in one post. Let's see if it works. So, I mean, that is what I would like to try. So tags, we have to map it to tag item. Is that correct? Yes. That will then be collected. And nothing else is needed because the other is optional. The tag items needs fields. Okay, if I'm not wrong, no. And here inside we need the tag that is our t clone, because t is a string and we are cloning it. Why are we cloning it? Because in our definition up here, let me see, we have a string. We don't have a reference to a string. Can we consume it? I think we can consume it. What happens if I don't clone it? Here in this map, I would also increment max sort order. Can I do that?
I think Tommaso here has a good suggestion. Is saying that if you use .enumerate, then you also have a relative index that you can use as a offset from the max to the increment.
Better. So enumerate here, no, iter. Then
before the
enumerate.
map.
Yeah.
And
sorry,
now in your map you have the two indices, the two values. One is
the index is the
first one.
Yeah, comma this tag, and now is max sort order plus 10 multiplied by the index. Index is starting at 0, correct? I think so. Okay, so now what we did. Why is it complaining? Because it wants a U32 instead of a usize as U32. Happy now? Happier? Yeah.
And if people are curious to see what we are trying to implement, this is the link to the docs showing how do you do a post to a table, which is basically adding new records to a table.
Here is complaining that T is a reference to a string.
While we look for a string, right? For an explicit string.
Yeah, but we want an explicit string, so
do another
we
clone,
do a toString. Yeah.
Or a clone, which is the same thing.
But if you clone, we are not getting the reference.
Good question.
Yeah, because it's a double.
Okay, just do a toString
reference. If we clone, we remove one reference, but then we have another one. Because the iter, I think, is the map was consuming the tags to create. Iter is not consuming them. Into iter should be used if we want to clone. No? Into iter is going to get rid of one reference.
But into iter is going to consume your collection. So after this line, you cannot use the collection anymore.
Yeah, but we don't need it. We don't need it anymore, so it's fine to consume it. But again, we still have to clone because we are not getting the string. Because of the enumerate, we are getting the reference to the string.
Right.
So let's leave the toString and the iter, and this will also not consume the tags to create. Clone, we fix it. Yeah. Clone all the way through. And now we have the payload. We have to do the call itself. what
But
were you doing?
there is
right?
an amazing article, and there is also a talk by Andre, who is also the author of Clippy, that is called Easy Mode Rust. I'm going to put the link here in the chat. That is literally do all the scrappy stuff first and get things working. Then later on, you can do the hard stuff. But at least it's less frustrating because you do progress. That's kind of the gist of it.
The long story short. Okay, here Code Whisper is suggesting me magic. So he wanted me to write a post table, because we are doing a post now to the table, taking T as serialize. I don't know why the serialize owned is also needed, because here we are writing. Well, probably for the response that we don't care about, but okay. Then he's taking the table, the payload, and the AirTable API. Well, seems quite reasonable. What do you say?
I'm not sure again why the serialize owned. Yeah. I think you can
I'm
remove
removing it. Now, here, let's copy a little bit from the above, just those 2 lines that are base URL with the table ID. Then we have to do our client.post. So the base URL, then the header are the same as before, because we have to pass the authentication. So we can copy that. Then what else? The query, no? We have to pass a payload in the body. What do we have? Body. And then our payload.
I wonder if you also need to specify the content type in the header, if it's mandatory.
The payload, should we stringify, or is doing the stringify, the serialization itself?
Maybe because we enabled that feature flag called JSON, maybe it's going to do it on its own.
Send a JSON body. Okay, no, probably we have to use this. It's not body. We have to use JSON. Send a JSON body. Okay.
I wonder if that's also going to set the content type header. So maybe it's more convenient.
I was expecting to do so, because why not?
And
then
we
send
the
it.
parentheses.
Okay. Too many. Now, in theory, this should do the trick. Do we care about the answer itself? Not really. Probably we just care about the response code. So let the response be this. Then if the response is 200, I don't know if it's 200, but let's hope so. We return an OK.
Or is 201?
Otherwise, 201, okay.
No, I don't know. I'm just checking in the docs, but it doesn't seem to say that. Oh, no, it says that it's 200.
200, okay. Otherwise, what we do? We return an error of some kind. An empty one is fine. Just be very...
I guess, yeah.
Talkative.
Or a string for now. You can even return a string, I guess, as an error. So Thomas is saying there is a crate to manage secrets. That sounds interesting. Something worth looking into in the future.
I have the cat in front of the monitor. I have to move it. No, not on the laptop. Not on the laptop. No. Sorry, before the cat starts writing code.
Which turns out it might be better than our code.
Better than mine, for sure. So here what is complaining. Okay, a single string is fine for you. Are you happy? No, it's not happy.
Because your result type...
box.
Wait, what is your result type? Oh yeah, you need to change that to string as the second generic rather than error.
And then just return a string.
Then you return an error with a string.
He's not super happy about there with the string.
No?
Oh,
because you need to do dot. No, or I don't know if you can do that because it's gonna die before it returns, right?
But then we can't use the question mark here if we remove the error from
true.
there.
Okay, then we need to use box din, that kind of crappy stuff. So if you use, how do you do a generic error?
Time to learn it.
I generally use anyhow as a crate, but I don't know if it's worth installing it.
No, just for one error, come on. Don't be lazy.
Okay, so you can say that your error type in the result signature is, I'm gonna put it in the chat because it's a bit long.
Panics works better. Thank you. That is the error. So it must be put here. Box is a dynamic error.
But then if you just use error, I think it's going to conflict with the request error that we have before. So we need to say std error.
Okay. Std error.
Now, how do you convert a string into that? I don't know. If you just do, oh yeah, there is a box std error. What if you just do box from? You probably need to do still a toString, or is that just going to work magically?
No, seems to be happy.
Okay.
Okay. So we want to try this locally first with our
yes,
missing offset. That payload. Yeah, missing offset. You have to specify offset known.
Oh yes, yes.
Where is that I created the offset? Here. The payload. So records.
Yeah, the alternative is that you do a constructor and you then you just do a new that takes the payload and not the offset.
So now our post table is AirTable key is a reference to the AirTable key that we want to pass. Then the table ID and the payload. The payload should be a reference to the payload. And table ID. The table ID is the tags that we want to create. So and now it's complaining because we don't await it. Dot await question mark semicolon. Okay, happy now? Seems happy.
Why is not happy with the question mark? He was not happy with the question mark, I think.
Because this function is giving out an error, not a boxed, whatever it is. So I think we need to make it a boxed. Because this one is giving an error that then this one can't give. Now, happy? Okay.
Still more errors? There are still errors.
Doesn't have a size known at compile time. The get table error. Oh, now he's not happy about those two question mark. Okay. What was the stuff about panic? Sorry. So
we can use that everywhere.
This is an error. And here it should complain, but we panic with saying AirTable creation failed. See? No, pet. Wow, is panic is a
with an exclamation.
macro.
Yeah, it's a macro.
It's a macro. Yeah. Almost there.
Okay, this is
now
definitely
he's complaining. Okay, now is it compiling or not? Error, could not compile. One warning. Why now? Use of unstable library core panic. Why?
Did we use a? Oh, we imported panic as a function, not as a macro.
He imported panic as a function. It was not me. It was not me. I swear. Compiling, building. Come on. Am I lagging? No. Running. Okay, so seems to be working. If we run this locally, it will start to do work for real. So what is now the condition of our tax table? Our tax table is like this. There is a button to refresh them. No.
I think it will refresh in real time, AirTable. So if you run it, put it on the side, yeah, we should see new records coming in.
Okay, so the invocation of this is through this cargo lambda invoke and a fake payload because we don't care about the payload.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, we have the table itself. Okay, let's see what is happening. We logged nothing, obviously, but also the log messages are not going to be here. But on the other side, null. Null.
Did it add something?
What? He just debugged
the event.
Yeah, but it was not panicked because we don't see any panicking. But I also don't see anything working.
Okay, do we have new tags, first of all? Because it is possible we don't have new tags to synchronize, right?
In theory, we should have some, but now let's debug the tags to create. Okay, let's debug a bunch of variables here. dbg question mark reference to menu tags set. Then we also do tags set. And we do the tags to create, okay? Let's start with this. Now, I invoke it, let's put it on the side, this side. This one is on the other side. Let's clear this terminal, so. Okay, we invoke again.
Okay,
so we have
few tags.
The menu tags that we have from the menu, the ones that are already in the tags table and the ones that we want to create. Makes sense. Okay. We want to debug the payload now. Oh, wait. When we do send await, no, in theory we should be able to dbg.
Do you want to print the
text
response?
Await.
Okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
We want to print what is in the response, just to understand if I mean, if he's giving 200, I was expecting it to succeed. Stupid me. Let's debug also the payload. Okay, back to us, another invocation. Oh,
compiling.
Still building.
Oh, good question by Tommaso. Is the table ID correct?
Good question.
Are we adding stuff to another table?
Invalid request and no. Message invalid. Parameter validation failed. Check your request data.
Oh, that's interesting. So you are getting a 200 even though
with an error.
error?
Perfect. Is exactly what you want. No, it's not. Okay, the table ID, we have to write back to the table with the tags. So yes, the table ID is the correct one. And I took it from here, so is here. Now, what was Python doing? Python was just creating records, fields, tag, and the sort order. Tag and sort order, which was posting JSON with those data, headers, and sorry, my cat is meowing to the wall. Now, our payload is correct. Our payload is made like this. There are records with fields and tags. Instead, we need records with fields and tags. Tag.
Okay.
Yeah, tag. Sort order, fields, records. In theory, the payload seems fine to me. The only extra thing that we have is the offset, but it should not be serialized, correct?
Good
I
question.
was not putting in any header here because it is serialized. Tommaso said that it
As
is
a null?
serialized, so as a null probably, but it needs to be missing, not a null. It needs to not be there.
There might be an annotation to do that.
And probably there's a notation here. When we serialize...
Okay, there you go. There is a suggestion there. Skip serializing fields. I'm checking in the docs. Let me put the link in the chat.
Okay, so it's something on top of the class itself, not on the single fields. So here, serve the skip.
Is it it's an option, right? So probably that's the syntax.
Skip serializing if, okay, served, then you say skip serialize if
serializing
equal, thank you, if option is known. Option is known. I'm closing enough stuff.
And this one needs to be put in line 35 though. So just before the offset field. Because it's specific to the field, not the struct. Right?
Makes sense. Okay, now it's compiling. Still compiling.
Did it compile or did it fail?
I think it's still compiling. Yeah, it's running now. No, still invalid records.
A maximum of 10 records can be created per request. And you have provided exactly 11.
Perfect. Cool. Okay. But what is a step ahead?
So and now I do some kind of chunking.
Yeah, probably I understand why I just looped through all the tags creating them. Just to avoid to count. Counting is hard, guys. Now, so we have to do payloads. Here, instead of one payload, we have to do multiple payloads. Starting with tags. Oh, God.
But you can chunk tags to create, right?
Yeah.
And then we loop through the chunks. How do we chunk? Dot chunks. Does that work? Yeah.
Oh my God, he wants to do stuff, but I will just not accept the suggestion. So now our payload is the chunk that changed type in the meantime. So it is what is this? A reference to an array of references to string. Is this going to change our code?
Slice, I think.
Yeah, it's a slice. No. iter works, the types are the same, seems happy. I will remove the debug and the other debug. Okay, let's go back to here. Is building. I'm leaving the event, so it's not complaining.
Oh yeah, there is a good point here by Tommaso, I think. That we don't want to mess up the order, right? Because of the chunks. We need to always keep incrementing.
Yeah, true.
So we need to either keep two.
I don't know. We.
Oh, good idea. Yeah, that's a simple solution.
We increment it by the length of the chunk, and we make it mutable up here. At this point, it will be mutable. But is failing to compile error. Ah, no, the killed command is because I saved and it killed the compile. I need to give it time to compile. What was the monitor? Is it ready? Or still compiling? Let's see.
It panicked.
AirTable creation failed. This time it panicked.
Environment variable to display backtrace. Oh, okay, panicked in your own panic. So we don't know exactly why.
No, because we don't have the debug of the response that we can put in. But now let's see. Yeah, but now it created the tags. It panicked, but it created the tags. So it's not answering 200 when it creates.
Well, the doc says it's at 200, then I don't know.
Easy. Okay, let's do this.
Which version of the API are you using?
Delete some selected tags. We are back. Okay. Now here is still compiling.
Maybe the docs I found are an older version of the API because it says v0. Do you have any v0 in your API? In the URL?
I don't think so. No, don't think so. But well. Okay, we run it again. The tags got created on the left and we panicked because we got.
Oh, you are not.
I did a mess in the code.
Status?
Sorry. Is equal, not different from.
Okay.
Whoops. I just inverted the logic. No, it's 200. Well, long story short, they got created and is a 200. Now, it's working on my laptop. But it's working on Lambda. Do you want to deploy?
You should deploy, yes.
Yeah,
can we review the SAM file first, the template YAML?
Nothing changed. That is from last time.
So we have a
parameter. Yeah.
Globals.
We have some memory and timeout. We have our resource that is our cargo lambda, our function that is runtime. Is a cargo lambda basically. Runtime is a bootstrap provided this one for ARM and so on. We pass as an environment variable the parameter that we configured up here, and then it has an event that is scheduled with a rate of every 30 minutes to trigger the lambda.
Perfect. Okay.
All of this, nothing else.
We can probably
this one instead, it's just some configurations. The other file involved, yes, is some validate, some build beta feature, some deploy with a parameter override that writes my environment variable into the parameter for the lambda. Let's run it. We have an ads in the meantime, I think.
Your cat is not happy.
My cat is here complaining. What's up? Probably wants to be fed, so we're trying to give food to the poor cat after the stream. Now we are just cuddling it. you a little bit happier now? I think it's compiling. If I'm
yeah, you are already freezing.
lagging is because it's compiling.
Yeah, and it's compiling for production, so that's why it's even slower. Okay, you're back.
Oh, sorry, I was distracted by the cat. Okay, we uploaded the new artifact. Waiting for the change set to be created. Okay, what it's doing is modifying. Okay. Permission, rule, and function. The rule, which rule?
The rule is the schedule, I think.
The events rule. Yeah, the scheduler. Because it's changing the Lambda, so it needs a new one.
Yeah, the
okay,
version
we
of the Lambda.
should. Yeah, we should have it up. So let's take a look at it. Nothing to look at, but we can test it. So let's do like before. We have on the left the tags that are not updated. We have our Lambda, or we wait 1 minute, or we trigger it. What do you want to do?
You put 30 minutes, right? So I'm not sure if it starts after 1 minute or 30 or something in between. So let's just test it manually.
Okay, so let's test it manually. Whoop. We have our new tags added to our AirTable table in real time, and the Lambda was successful. It debugged. Yeah, we have just the normal output. I don't know. The debug is in Cloud of Watch probably.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Now we want to try to parallelize that flow from before. We have a bunch of to do. Do you want me to do a commit with what we have now?
Let's do a commit. Then I don't know if we want to call it a day for today because it's more than 1 hour. But we can probably go and do a super quick overview of what we want to fix maybe next time.
Why quote? Where is the quote? I'm fighting with the bash. He took the question mark like a command. Okay, committed. What we did today was. Would you want to recap that, or do you want to recap what we have to do next?
Let's do a quick recap of what we did and what we need to do next, and then we can probably wrap it up.
Yeah, what we did was taking the data and creating two sets, make a difference between two sets, and using the set created to create payload for AirTable, and then create a function to post this payload to AirTable through the client, to request the client, and it worked except for the chunking and except for this skip serialization if the option is known. So instead of having a null, we have the field missing completely. That is what we want when we serialize. In the end, there was no need of deserialize anything here, so I don't know why Code Whisper wanted it, but it was not needed. So this is the problems with AI suggesting you code. Often is correct, but often not. And we cloned like crazy here that probably is not really needed. What we have to do if we want to make this better, we'll have to do all over the place. We have to make these calls in parallel. No, we did this, to be honest. It's not a to-do anymore. We did it. Probably we have to remove the clone here through a filter and a flat map. The chunk, I think, is fine, but here we are still cloning to create the tags item.
Yeah.
There was a suggestion up here to have a generic wrapper around our fields types, or at least is what I understood. You understood something different, you said, Luciano, before?
No, I think it's the same suggestion, but rather than doing it with two nested generics, like with two nested structs, to have our own custom serializer and the serializer to, at the Rust level, deal only with one level of nesting, but then we go to the JSON level, back and forward, we normalize as needed.
Okay, that is an optimization that we can do. Yeah, to only have one struct and not having multiple of them.
The other one could be to do a client, to do like a client struct that abstracts all AirTable, keeps the connection
because
open,
now
keeps the authentication, and you just call methods like read and write, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, now they are two different functions, but you have to pass every time the table key, the AirTable key, and we create a client every time we do a call. Instead, you say we can keep a common shared client and use it. I don't know how expensive is this, to be honest.
I think it might create a new connection. So, I mean, should be relatively fast for the use we're doing here. It's not like we're doing thousands of requests. It's probably 4 or 5 requests in total. But there is TLS and check and so on. Yeah. So it's an optimization which might have a small effect on the total runtime of the Lambda. I guess
what
it's more
the total
to see.
Runtime of the Lambda?
Good question. But I guess for us, it's more to see what is the effort of creating a client, more as an exercise.
So monitoring. Do we have any? Okay, those are the invocations. Durations. This one was 4 seconds. This was 1.2. This was 1.7. Yeah, because it's calling AirTable. So based on the time that AirTable is taking more time the Lambda itself.
Okay, let's wrap it up here then.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Billed duration, memory used. Nice. Okay, I leave it to you to close.
Okay, so thanks everyone for joining today. We will probably continue the stream next Monday at 6 p.m. GMT. So if you're watching on YouTube, check out Twitch for that. I'll put the link in the show notes. And if you're watching on Twitch, you can find all the episodes in the previous recording on YouTube. So yeah, make sure to follow in both places. And thank you very much again. Thank you, Tommaso, for all the suggestions. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.